Hey guys, Chris Rood here. On this video, I'm gonna show you how to buy, rehab, stabilize, and then exit a mobile home park and make big bucks. I bought this park about 5 years ago, rehabbed it, stabilized it, and made about $1 million on it. Stay tuned, I'm gonna show you how to do the same thing. Well, who do I have the pleasure of accompanying me with this video?
Well, I'm the one who found you this deal, that's why.
That's right. So I thought I'd bring you the famous Big Mama Rood to walk the park and talk about the park. But anyway, let's talk about this park, Big Mama Rood.
So
Park about 5 years ago?
Yes, and I put this on my social media saying, looking for a park to buy. And I had a girl that I went to school with that this was her dad's park and she was managing it and they were having issues. So she said, I have something to sell. So
that's how we found it, which is the key. We posted on social media. You need to do some direct to seller marketing. You can send letters, you can send postcards, you can cold call, or you can post on social media. So we got this deal from posting on social media. It was actually a girl that went to school with Patty. Her dad had it and had owned it for like 20 years. It was really distressed at the time. You know, as you can see, it's a 24 unit. It's in a lot better shape now than when I bought it 5 years ago. But the dad was 72 years old. He had enough of it. Property was very distressed.
and he was moving to Maine.
He was moving to Maine. He wanted to retire. Patty knew the girl's dad. The girls reached out to Patty, and then Patty gave me her number. Then I called the dad, went to take him to lunch, sat him down.
He loved this.
Yeah, he built rapport, and that's the key, is building rapport, right? So made him a really low offer, because I mean the park was only getting $5,300 a month, and I offered him $210,000, and he took it, right? He took it, and we ended up closing on it. Closed on it back in 2020 or 2019, and was only getting $5,300 a month. We had about 12 or 14 empty spots out of the 24. So what I did was, all these trailers you see right here with the metal roofs, all that, we bought used trailers from my direct to seller marketing for anywhere as cheap as $2,500 to $7,500. I'm even going to show you one up here that I paid $5 grand for that was almost brand new. This mobile home right here was a Clayton 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It was a 2019, and this is 2020. Yeah, 2020 when I bought it. Somebody had told me they paid like $30,000 for that trailer.
They were using it like a camp, barely using it. Yeah.
And then we ended up buying it for $5 grand. Hauled it in here for $2,500, set it up for another $3,500. I think I was all in maybe 12 grand, and I was getting, I think, $950 a month. So that's a deal. And then you see all these trailers. I hauled every single one of these trailers in here by finding off-market trailers for super cheap, used trailers, right? Now, some of these in here are brand new. The ones in the front over there, like that one right there, you can't.
The very first one.
Yeah, the very first 3 over there are all brand new when I bought back in 2020. So we did buy some brand new. Looking back, I probably would have just bought more of them brand new. I bought 5 brand new, and then I hauled in, I think, 9, maybe 8 or 9 used. That's a lot of work, right? You got to find them, you got to, fix them up, you got to rehab them, stabilize them. But it took us probably 4 years to stabilize it. I took the income from $5,300 all the way to $19,500. And once I stabilized it, I had 2 options there. I could keep it long term and keep the cash flow, or while it was in still really good shape, I can exit this thing and make a lot of money. So I chose to exit. But before I exited, what we did with about, I think all of them before we sold, all but 5 trailers.
4 trailers.
4 trailers, yeah, 4 or 5 trailers. We sold every one of these trailers to investors who wanted cash flow. I sold each one of these trailers for around $25,000 to $35,000. Took that money, paid down all of my debt. Once we sold off most of the trailers, I think there was 4 left, it dropped it down to a lot rent park. And that's what you have to understand. This was a park-owned park. You have different models. You got park own where you own the trailer and the dirt. Then you have a lot rent where you just own the dirt but not the trailer, and somebody has their own trailer in here. Then you have what's called the investor model, where the investor owns the trailer and they rent it out to somebody else and then pay you lot rent. And then you have what's called RTO, rent to own, where you have the tenant has the opportunity to buy the trailer from you where you don't have any maintenance anymore. And it's essentially home ownership, and they end up owning a trailer, and you can put them on a rent to own contract for, 10, 12, 15 years, depending on how new or old the trailer is. But that's the 4 options you have as a mobile home park investor. Eventually you want to get away from owning the trailers. Eventually you if you're going to do a newer park, it's okay to do the tenant own model, but eventually after 5 years these trailers get beat up and you have to redo them again, right? And Patty and I have been owning trailers parks now for about 10 years. We own 19 parks. I've sold off about 6. We're probably going to sell off about 6 more.
We've redone about 600 something.
Oh yeah, we've redone 500-600 units.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's a lot of work, right? It's almost easier to develop a brand new park in the outskirts and put brand new trailers than it is to go and rehab all these trailers, dealing with the contractors, all that stuff. So there's your different options. Lot rent, rent to own are going to be your 2 better options. Now you do have, like I said, you do have the investor own, where the investor owns it and pays you rent. That's a good model too. And then you have the tenant own, the park own, where you own that. You don't want to do the park own for too long. Your goal is to have the tenants own this eventually to where they have pride of ownership. Now keep in mind, it's much easier to find a mobile home park and get a great deal on a park own where you own the trailers than it is a lot rent. But it's more maintenance, more headache, it's more cumbersome, right? You're dealing with tenants, they're going to beat up the trailers. So what you want to do is buy as a park own, exit as a lot rent, or an investor own, or rent to own, on those 3 models. You understand? Start with the park own, because that's where nobody wants to mess with the trailers. Then you're going to slowly, eventually get somebody else to own the trailers where they're just paying you lot rent. That's going to drive up your value and your cap rate, because it drives down your expenses, right? So with that said, once we stabilized it, we sold off all but 3 or I think 4 of the trailers. We decided, hey, we paid off all of our debt with the money they gave us to the trailers. We paid off, I think, total capital invested in this park, I think, was maybe around $600,000, $650 max. I was able to take all the money they gave me for the trailers and pay off all of my debt and still put some money in my pocket. So we said, hey, you know what? We don't have any debt in this. We're only going to make maybe, I think, 18 grand a month. So we decided to put it for sale, and we sold it for $1 million. We sold it actually for 800,000, but I'd already made a couple $100,000 more than what I had made on the sale. So we made right at $1 million. We 1031 exchanged this into a high-end, newer, nicer, better area cabin in Broken Bow, Oklahoma, as a short-term vacation rental. That was brand new construction, which is one of the nicest cabins in all of Broken Bow. And we do a lot of short-term luxury vacation rentals, also Airbnb. She manages a lot of it. Because why? We wanted to upgrade. You always want to upgrade your portfolio. You can't,
especially the older you get.
Yeah.
The older you get, you don't want to be working on maintenance all the time.
You got to realize all these trailers have a life cycle. Every piece of real estate has a life cycle, and trailers especially have a shorter life cycle, and they get and they don't hold their value as much. Now, as far as rental income, they're great rental machines. But the problem is, you got to think long term. What is this asset going to look like in 5, 10, 15, 20 years? Do you want to give this to your kids? And frankly speaking, I don't want to give this to my kids. But this is a great asset to own and stabilize. And I could have kept it for cash flow.
And it was super easy to sell. I mean, we didn't even have to put this on the market. The first person we called wanted to buy it.
Yep. So that's kind of some of the things you got to think about. I could have kept this park and, got lot rent for the next 5, 10 years.
And maybe some of them we will keep in certain locations.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, this was in a flood zone too.
Yeah.
That was another big factor. And we're in South Louisiana right here, in Lafayette, Louisiana. We have a lot of hurricanes. This was in a flood zone. I didn't have to pay flood insurance no more because I had sold all the trailers, but I still in the back of my mind think about, hey, what's my exposure on hurricanes? What's my exposure if it floods? And that was another factor. It's like, man, do I take that risk and collect 8 to 10 grand cash flow, or do I exit out of it and buy a newer, nicer, brand new product asset in a better area? And that's what is the deciding factor for me. But doesn't mean that you should do the same thing. If this is in a better area, or, you know, newer, a little bit newer trailers, the whole thing was brand new, I probably would have kept it for 8 to 10 years, or if it wasn't in a flood zone. So you have to distinguish between the similarities and differences, you know, where you're at, the age of the trailers, what's your purpose for this? Do you want to keep it long-term? You know, what is this going to look like in 10, 15, 20 years when you try to retire? And you have to play the product life cycle game. You got to time it right where you exit where the thing is still in good shape so you can extract as much money as you can, because you don't want to be a motivated seller, right?
Right.
I buy from motivated sellers all the time that have deferred maintenance.
Yeah.
They don't take care of their assets, and what happens? They got to give it to me for pennies on the dollar. I come in here, inject capital, I raise the value, raise the rents, and then I exit at a premium. And that's exactly what I did with this property right now. The guy that I bought it from, you know, he held this thing for 20 years and he probably made a lot of money, so he didn't care about it, you know, giving it away to me. But if he'd have sold it when it was at its peak, it got way more money, or if it had kept it in better shape. So keep that in mind when you're investing in mobile home parks.
We always invest in upgrading our properties. Always.
Always invest. Always keep it. And you want to keep on recycling money into newer, nicer, better product and better real estate assets. So if you like this asset, this is a great asset to be in. This is the last of what I call affordable housing. You know, I mean, there's just nothing
People need
left.
this.
People need this. You got it. This is a great asset to get into. You know, so don't feel like it's a trailer, it's a stigma. No, look, these things print money when you stabilize them and rent them out. Great asset classes. So don't be scared to jump in this. If you need help learning about this, I'll leave a link right here. You can press that link right there. You can click on my coaching or go to chrisrood.com. I can help you with the different facets of real estate. I call it fast, medium, and slow money. The different types of real estate: wholesaling, flipping, buy and hold. That's fast, medium, and slow money. And all the different verticals that are associated with buying, selling, and holding real estate. Big Mom and I have been in real estate for 17 years. Been doing this full time for about 11 years now. It is an absolute game changer. If you want to change your life financially, you want to get more freedom, more time. Hell, you might even get more sex.
Oh, I knew you were going to say it. I knew it.
Anyway, I'd love to help you. Click the link over here. I'll see you on the next video. Hey, and like and subscribe. Give Mama Rood some love. I can't get her on these videos all the time. Give me some love. Like, subscribe, give me a comment. Even if you don't like the video, it helps the algorithms. You can tell me I'm a dipshit. I don't care. You're helping me with the algorithms.
Peace.
One more thing. If you need brand new mobile homes, I have a dealership that services pretty much nationwide, especially in the South. AlliesWholesaleDepot.com. You can go click that link right here. We'll have a link for here or down in the description. AlliesWholesaleDepot.com. We can sell you trailers for your land home package, for your double wides to flip, or your single wides if you want to keep them as rentals on an acre of land, or if you have a mobile home park and you follow me and you need trailers. Guaranteed, I will beat anybody's price in the country at wholesale prices. Rock bottom, right above sticker. Allies Wholesale Depot. Click the link below.